Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today at our combined board and committee meetings. My name is Mike Atkinson. I am the board chair for the FirstNet Authority and take this opportunity to welcome you to the great state of Florida and to Cape Coral particularly. It's a beautiful location. We're certainly glad to have you here, and we hope you spend efficiently while you're here. Taxpayers appreciate that. Today, we're going to hear from our different committee chairs and committee readouts. We also have a new board member who is a representative from OMB, Mr. Stuart Levenbach. Unfortunately, he had a prior commitment, was unable to make it today, but we are glad that the OMB has appointed him. We look forward to him joining us, working with us in the future, and that has been some well-needed engagement from them as well. So we're going to hear today updates from the Public Safety Advocacy Committee, Finance, Investment, Programs and Future Planning, and quite possibly even Governance and Risk. So with that, I'd like to say that we again welcome Stuart Levenbach to join us, and I'm going to ask that you call the roll.
Very good. Sheriff, I'll mark you as present. Billy Bob Brown Jr. and Damon Darcy are unable to join us today as well. Alex Fernandez Navarro. Present. Eric Gall.
Present.
Marking Stuart Levenbach is absent as well. Sean McDevitt.
Present.
Warren Mickens.
Present.
Jocelyn Moore. Present. Jeffrey Norman.
Present.
Rashid Scarlett.
Present.
Tricia Wolford. Present. Mr. Chair, we do have a quorum for the board as well as for all four committees. Now I will read the conflict statement. Prior to participating in the FirstNet Authority Combined Board and Committees meeting today, the board members have reviewed the agenda as well as the conflict of interest guidance provided by the Ethics Law and Program Division of the Department of Commerce, Office of General Counsel regarding the conflict of interest standards that apply to the board members. All board members have responded prior to today's meeting that they do not have a conflict and will not need to recuse themselves from participation in any portion of this meeting. Thank you.
Very good. Each board member has in front of them minutes from the March board meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? Hearing none, I'll take a motion to accept those minutes.
This is Warren Mickens. I move that we accept these minutes.
Outstanding. Is there a second?
As Eric Gall, I second the motion.
All in favor say aye. All opposed, like sign, say nay.
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? None. The March board minutes are accepted. Madam Secretary, please take these minutes into account. And during our last board meeting, PSAC Chair Chris Lombard posed several questions to the board on behalf of the PSAC. And I think during that time, we had the opportunity, I think, Chief, as I told you, we would respond back writing. Thank you for posing those questions. And we had the opportunity to give you some answers, as we said we would. And we certainly value and appreciate the PSAC's engagement, involvement, and interest in moving the mission of this authority forward. And so with that, Chief, I'll turn it over to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. We are grateful for the strong working relationship between the PSAC and the board, built on mutual respect, open dialogue, shared commitment to serving the first responders. Thank you especially for answering those questions. The PSAC appreciated it and the input, and has been able to take that and continue our work in dialogue with the board. We look forward to the work ahead, supporting the board and the FirstNet Authority and on important investment decisions that will deliver real results for public safety community. So again, thank you, Chief. If you're okay, I'll proceed with the update.
Yeah, please.
All right. So again, thank you again on behalf of the PSAC. I'd like to extend my warmest congratulations on your appointment, finally, as chairman of the FirstNet Authority Board.
A little probation.
We look forward to supporting your leadership and continuing our strong partnership in the service of public safety and first responders. Next slide. All right, we're there, it looks like. At our regularly scheduled meeting in May, the PSAC began engaging with the FirstNet Authority on specific public safety investment priorities, ensuring that the FirstNet Authority, the board, and everyone have the best advice from the PSAC to design future enhancements that reflect the needs of our first responders. Our Tribal Advisory Group has continued with their regular meetings with a focus on FirstNet Authority's coverage enhancement workshops, which assist in identifying areas in the greatest need for additional coverage. I want to thank the FirstNet Authority for the 2 virtual webinars held in May, which discussed coverage enhancement workshops 2.0 basically, PSAC members were among the larger group of public safety professionals that took part. I think these kinds of engagements are a great way to get the word out. Next slide, please. Looking forward, the PSAC has 3 meetings scheduled for the remainder of the calendar year for 2026. We're working on planning for one of those meetings to be in person. In the immediate future, the PSAC will continue to provide support and advice to the FirstNet Authority on key investment decisions, and then presenting those to the board. We also will close out our working groups on tower permitting and our CIO, CTO engagement strategies, and then consider new topics for discussion. Over the coming months, we will continue to support the FirstNet Authority's mission and collaborate with the FirstNet Authority board and staff as public safety associations convene meetings this summer and the CEWs continue. The TAG will continue its outreach and engagement to ensure tribal voices are heard as the FirstNet network improves and expands. If there are no further questions, that concludes my PSAC update.
Thank you,
Back to
Chief.
Chair.
And again, we appreciate your engagement, involvement, everything that you guys are doing to help drive forward the investment where and provide direction and advice to this authority. Chief Wolford.
Thank you, Chairman. I will share engagement statistics from the second quarter of fiscal year 2026, as well as highlights and learnings from recent public safety engagements. This will include coverage enhancement engagement, which is always our continued priority. So the update from Advocacy Committee has a couple of sections, so I will run through all of them. So FY 2026 Q2 public safety engagements, and we have that up on the screen now. So during the second quarter, we participated in 253 engagements. We've reached more than 10,000 stakeholders in 45 states and territories, and with our tribal and federal agencies across all major disciplines. The FirstNet Authority participated in planning engagements with our stakeholders in the 11 U.S. cities that will be hosting the FIFA World Cup matches this summer. And we will also be sharing some more FIFA updates when we get to the next slide. The FirstNet Authority collected 250 unique feedback items from public safety on their operational needs, capability gaps, and everyday use of FirstNet. We continue to emphasize the importance of gathering feedback directly from public safety to expand and enhance the network. The feedback aligns on predominantly the same high-level themes that we brief out from quarter to quarter, and the coverage is by far the most important feedback topic. This includes specific coverage needs captured before, during, and after the coverage enhancement workshops. This included the 243 responses in our geographic survey in the second quarter. The survey also provided a venue for stakeholders to communicate specific in-building coverage needs, which then provides an opportunity to highlight options like our in-building coverage investment and the availability of the Cell Booster Pro for eligible agencies. This also includes successful use of high-power user equipment, or HPUE. This helps extend coverage to support public safety operations. This quarter, we also heard praise from our FirstNet's quality of support, priority, and preemption, as stakeholders have experienced this firsthand during numerous crowded events. Push-to-talk solutions are another topic of interest to our stakeholders, including integration with their existing land mobile radio systems. We will continue robust dialogue with public safety from across the nation. So we have some engagement highlights. Excuse me. We'll highlight a few examples of FirstNet Authority engagement with public safety in recent months. Over the last couple of months, the team attended conferences or meetings for the Police Executive Research Forum, International Association of Chiefs of Police Technology Conference, the Indian Country Law Enforcement Section, and Major Cities Chiefs Association Committee Conference, among others. There would normally be a run-on of acronyms there, but I appreciate that we could put it all together. So as always, conferences do provide a key venue for us to be able to engage with law enforcement leadership from across the nation, and this is always on various broadband topics. There were several of the board who also attended National Police Week in Washington, D.C., and this is always to remember and honor our fallen officers. Public Safety Advocacy Team continues to support local, state, and federal public safety stakeholders via the Network Experience Engagement Program at all stages, so before, during, and after disasters and planned events. As I had mentioned before, the PSA team participated in planned engagement, communications committee meetings, and various exercises in advance of FIFA World Cup 2026. So this is all preparing to provide on-site support in emergency operations centers in all 11 host cities throughout the 39-day operational period, which will begin next Thursday. This provides public safety direct access to FirstNet Authority and by extension our partner AT&T and clear path to seek resolution to various communication issues and any challenges that may arise. We also want to note that while we're here in Coral Gables, Miami is hosting 7 FIFA matches, including one of the quarterfinal matches and the bronze final. Team supported response operations after, the pronunciation here of the typhoon, I've read it, Senlaku, am I correct? You guys don't know, so you agree. Okay. So unfortunately, obviously, any typhoon is devastated, and this is devastated Mariana Islands in April. So we always have concern and outreach for those community, but the team did support the response operation. We recently had the opportunity to gather unfiltered public safety feedback. I will say unfiltered public safety feedback is one of my favorites, and this is from our Mississippi stakeholders about network performance in January's Winter Storm Fern. Lastly, the Public Safety Advocacy Team is running 2 discipline-specific cohorts this year for emergency management and emergency communication centers. Both cohorts include representatives from state and local agencies, and this is across the nation. This provides a unique opportunity for us to educate stakeholders, build awareness of FirstNet capabilities, such as the deployable program or FirstNet Central, and seek targeted feedback. I'm almost done. We're going to go through coverage enhancement workshops. We begin with executing the next round of coverage enhancement workshops. As promised, the team is circling back to each state and territory to continue the conversation, offer updates on specific coverage enhancements in the queue, and seek prioritization from each and of what areas of our interest or should be of interest to us next. Fresh map demonstrates that we have conducted 8 workshops. The map is up on the screen now. And as of today, several targeted engagements with federal agencies and tribal organizations. Overall, the workshops continue to provide great success and continued communication. I can assure you that public safety's direct feedback is guiding our ongoing coverage and investment decisions. Stakeholders with specific coverage needs should contact the FirstNet Authority, and the team will bring you into the process in the most appropriate and effective way. One of my last updates is our awards, and the Chief Harlan R. McEwen Public Safety Broadband Communication Award, along with our Patriot Award. So every year we recognize figures from the public safety communications community. So we are now soliciting nominations for the Chief Harlan R. McEwen Public Safety Broadband Communications Award. This recognizes the spirit of service, commitment, and dedication that is proud amongst our public safety professionals. There's also the Patriot Award, which recognizes individual first responders or public safety agencies that use FirstNet to make their communities safer. So you can visit firstnet.gov to submit a nomination. It is currently open and live. And Chairman, this concludes my Advocacy Committee update report.
Thank you, Chief Wolford. We'll now receive the Finance and Investment Committee report. Chair Shama Devitt.
Thank you, Chair Atkinson. It's great to be with everyone here today. The Finance and Investment Committee has an exciting update to provide to everyone. As you may have seen in the news, on March 31st, the Department of Commerce, National Telecommunications and Information Administration announced that Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick had partnered with FirstNet's AT&T to secure an additional $2 billion in value to benefit public safety under the First Responder Network Authority nationwide broadband public safety broadband network contract. That was a mouthful. This agreement, as you may know, was made possible through President Trump's Executive Order 1422-2, which requires all federal agencies to review contracts to ensure that taxpayers are deriving maximum benefit from every federal dollar. This deal is the result of a collaborative process to deliver greater benefits to public safety users who rely on FirstNet and better value for taxpayers and the American public. Specifically, this agreement allows for FirstNet AT&T will reduce costs borne by the FirstNet Authority by roughly $1 billion, unlocking the same amount for further investments in the NPSBN. This framework will allow us to promote an accelerated build-out of the dedicated public safety 5G core and other associated investments. In addition, FirstNet AT&T will invest approximately $1 billion in new network and coverage enhancements. These will be guided by public safety users and the FirstNet Authority Board to ensure that these investments directly address the mission-critical needs of our nation's first responders. May I have the next slide, please? Through the first 7 months of fiscal year 2026, which is the month ending April 30th, the FirstNet Authority has obligated a cumulative total of $44.3 million. This is well within the forecast parameters of our fiscal year 2026 operating budget. FirstNet Authority continues to be prudent and fiscally responsible with its operating funds, as does the management team and the board broadly. We will continue to work to ensure that the maximum amount of dollars can be reinvested in the nationwide public safety broadband network to enhance coverage and evolve technology going forward. The committee will shortly begin working with the FirstNet Authority management team and the board to prepare for our upcoming special virtual board meeting later in August, tentatively scheduled for August 17th, where the FirstNet Authority fiscal year 2027 budget will be presented and voted upon. Sheriff, this concludes the Finance and Investment Committee update.
Thank you, Sean. Now we'll receive our update from Programs and Future Planning Committee Chair Rashid Scarlett.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. All right, next slide, please. So on the screen is kind of a tempered down version of the KPIs. KPIs are something that are near and dear to my heart and important for how we manage our role here at the authority. So what you're seeing are 9 metrics that are what the board had asked the authority to present to us on different topics that we wanted to understand where we stood in each of these categories. So I'm going to quickly go through each, but I'm not going to go over any specifics because those are proprietary, but we'll go over just the fact that we are paying attention to each of these. So first would be coverage. So what percentage of square miles or how many square miles are we covering to date? And there is and almost all of these is a contractual obligation, and then there are goals that we're trying to set. And I'll say that as an authority and as AT&T, we've hit actually every single one of these. So I won't say it 9 times. We have hit our numbers on every category, and we're proud of that. So service availability, what good is a public safety network if it's not available? And we're hitting our numbers beautifully there. Our net promoter score, that for those that don't know, that's paying attention to what customer satisfaction, what are people saying when they're being surveyed about the network and how do they feel about it? That's on an individual and an agency basis. Recovery time objective, how quickly are we recovering the network or getting there when needed? And that is hitting a contractual threshold that was set. Network reliability. We always talk about how reliable our network is. Everyone always is proud of their reliability. We hit our metrics well. Adoption and churn, how many devices and people are getting on the network and getting off, and that is a very healthy number. And then 5G standalone deployment, right? We've talked before about our adoption of 5G and then going to 5G SA. So we track that progress and it's going as desired. QPP is the priority and preemption, right? What this is built around is in an emergency, can first responders get on the network when they need to, when the network is being congested. And so we track that, and it is successfully doing that in those times of need. And then cybersecurity, a metric that's hard to quantify specifically, but we've come up with a way to measure how our network is doing from a cybersecurity perspective, and we're hitting all of our marks. All right, I got a few more things. I'm really trying to just take up more time than Trisha did, so I'm just going. So a few things that are not on the slide. So I'll just kind of riff quickly. So as you guys have seen in the press release, there was a $2 billion additional funding. Some was in light in kind, and then in savings. So Sheriff or Chair Atkinson had asked PNFP to lead the charge on developing that initial list of investment recommendations. So we have, as a committee, we came up with those mid-May. We've shared those with 3 other committees, and together as a board, we're working to, I guess, coalesce on what that list will consist of, and then also working with public safety and other stakeholders to make sure everyone's heard. So that progress is underway. Additionally, just talking about our adoption metrics, something I like to do every board meeting, we're at 8.2 million devices, or device connections. So that would include smartphone, watches, IoT, body cameras, sensors, you name it. But 8.2 million devices is something that we can be extremely proud of. And then we're over 30,000 agencies and organizations. And then lastly, I just wanted to speak to our ROGs. So there have been over 700 deployable solutions since April 2026, or not since, through April 2026. That'd be quite a bit. But now we're shifting our focus to FIFA. So those FIFA games are coming up, and the FirstNet team and the ROG teams will be out there supporting public safety at all those events nationwide. So thank you, Chair Atkinson. This concludes the Program and Future Planning Committee report.
Yes, and I want to thank each of the chairs for giving their updates today. And, one of the things I would point out to those listening online, or whether you're sitting in the room as well, to understand that this is a brevity of a lot of thoughtful discussion and a lot of research and time that goes in. So when you see these meetings, sometimes I think we're such a short meeting in the public meeting that it doesn't always adequately represent. It certainly doesn't adequately represent the time and effort put forward in this, and a lot of thought. So I guess it's incumbent upon me as a representative of the folks here to say there is a lot of work done by staff. There's a lot of time, and there's a lot of thoughtfulness put in this. This is not something that is not given the full weight and attention that it needs. It most certainly is. And with that, I will turn it over to our executive director for closing comments.
Thank you, Chairman Atkinson. And thank you to the board and everyone here joining us in Florida and online. As we heard throughout today's meeting, the FirstNet Authority continues to make progress in the support of the public safety community that we serve. That includes the hands-on work we do every day with the states, territories, tribal communities, and local agencies across the country. From coverage and network planning workshops with first responders to preparation for major national events like the FIFA World Cup, which begins in just a couple of weeks in cities across the country, including right here in South Florida. These efforts reflect our commitment to staying close to public safety's operational needs, understanding where communications challenges exist today and how to prepare for tomorrow. At the same time, though, we remain focused on our core responsibilities: strong stewardship of the FirstNet system, rigorous contract oversight, and strategic investments that continue to strengthen the network for the public safety community. I would like to thank the PSAC and all our public safety partners that work with the FirstNet Authority team and give us their honest feedback. We also appreciate the recent agreement facilitated by Commerce Secretary Ludnick with FirstNet AT&T. It's been mentioned a couple of times today, which will deliver meaningful benefits for FirstNet and, most importantly, for the first responders who rely on this network every day. This deal positions us to continue evolving the network to meet public safety's current and future needs. As we close, I would be remiss in not acknowledging that hurricane season is now underway. Here in Florida and across many parts of the country, we know how quickly conditions can change. Preparedness matters. I recently participated in a ribbon cutting for a new cell tower in Lake Lure, North Carolina. This area was devastated by Hurricane Helene last year. As I drove through the community on the way to the new tower site, the destruction is still very apparent. On July 7th, Sheriff Atkinson will be participating in a cell tower dedication at Horseshoe Beach, Florida, a community where nearly half the homes were wiped out by hurricanes Idalia and Helene. The FirstNet Authority is here to support public safety as we move through hurricane season, including investing in those areas vulnerable to hurricanes. We encourage public safety agencies, families, and communities to review their plans, stay informed, and take steps now that can make a difference when severe weather strikes. To the first responders and emergency communications professionals who stand ready every day, thank you. Thank you for your service, your partnership, and the trust you place in FirstNet. We appreciate everyone who joined us here today, and we look forward to continuing this important work together. Over to you, Sheriff.
Thank you, Mike. Any final comments from any members of the board? If not, we're prepared to adjourn that motion. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Chairman, this is Jocelyn, Board Member Jocelyn Moore. A couple of comments. I didn't raise my hand soon enough. First, I want to congratulate you on officially becoming the chair of this board. You are uniquely suited for this moment to lead the First Responder Network Authority Board, and we are indeed grateful for your leadership. So congratulations to you. Second, the Governance and Risk Committee is not going to have a formal report today, as you noted.
Right.
However, we will be on the agenda for every future board meeting, and I can assure you, Mr. Chairman and members of the board, that the members of the Governance and Risk Committee have their finger on the pulse of oversight, making sure that we are looking at all of the different OIG, GAO, et cetera, audits and requests, and making sure that we're responding in a timely and substantive manner, or that the management team is doing so. So we are overseeing that. We are also overseeing what is happening with reauthorization, which I know is a big interest of public safety and a huge risk. The lack thereof will be a huge risk to the network and to public safety. So we are monitoring that closely as well. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I would offer a motion to adjourn.
Thank you for your diligence on that, and may I have a second?
This is Board Member Fernandez Navarro. I second the motion.
Thank you so much. Meeting stands adjourned.